Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. So, the new upcoming movie called 28 Years Later is about to come out very soon. Because at the time when I found out that they were going to do this third installment, at the time I have never seen the first two 28 days and weeks later. And they brought back Danny Boyle, who directed the original film, and Garland as the screenwriter. You may have known Alex Garland. He directed Civil War. His recent film came out with Warfare. He directed Ex Machina, Annihilation. And then most of you already know who Danny Boyle is. He's the man who had directed Slumdog Millionaire that won an Oscar for Best Picture. He directed 127 Hours, Transpotting. I mean, the guy is a big, well-known time director, and it was great that they were bringing him back for the third installment, and I've been blown away by the trailer. So I had a chance to check out 28 Days Later. It came out 23 years ago. That became a cult following for the horror genre, for the zombie movie. It came out in 2002. You're following this character, Cillian Murphy, who is the leading man who wakes up 4 weeks after the outbreak. That is an incurable, effective virus that it will affect people everywhere they come in contact with blood, that you can't get it on your nose, you can't get it on in your mouth or your eyes, otherwise you'll turn within 20 seconds and you become an angry, hungry, raging zombie. And I will say, this movie is absolutely amazing. I was a little bit worried that it may be a little bit dated because of the way that they shot the film on a digital camera that is in a low resolution, that almost felt like you were watching a little bit of a documentary. And I get that Danny Boyle was in an early phase where Hollywood wants to try out of shooting digital cameras instead of shooting on 35 millimeter, because back in the day, most of the movies have been shot on film. And this was at the time we didn't have a great lenses of different types of cameras that can make like it was shot on film at the time, and it looked like it was shot digitally. And I love the cinematography of it. Cillian Murphy was absolutely phenomenal. We follow this character who comes across with a group of survivors, which is Naomie Harris. I had no idea that she was in this movie. She's the type of character that doesn't play well with others. She's all about every person for themselves, even though she needs a group of people with her, and she's too stubborn to admit the fact that she needs to have people that she can rely on. But she only knows that it's survival of the fittest. And I thought that Cillian Murphy is a little bit very naive, and he's very new to this whole new world of the whole post-apocalyptic world, even though it was only 4 weeks later. The way he's walking around in the town of London, that is stranded, and it felt like everything is all gone and the world went to shit. It was literally the blueprint of this whole zombie genre. I mean, they did the same thing of the style of The Walking Dead. They even did that in one episode of Smallville around season 9, which I can't remember what specific episode that I'm talking about. But yeah, they really did a lot of similar styles from TV shows and other movies. But I will say that this movie is absolutely incredible. It almost did feel like a documentary. It felt like a cautionary tale. How do you take this effective zombie genre and try to bring it into our world and make it believable and make us care about the human characters? We also meet up with Gleeson, who's playing the father who has a 14-year-old daughter who's trying to survive on their own, and meets up with these two, and now they're going to have to work together to find a sanctuary in a military base where there's supplies and there's survivors that they can go and make time, and they go on a cross-country trip. I will say that the zombie affected was absolutely brutal. I love how scary it looks and how terrifying, and it's incurable virus that they come across, especially in the beginning of the movie when the scientists were experimenting on those monkeys, and one of them carried the infection, and they got infiltrated and it got out. And it doesn't explain how it started in the first place. No one know how it started, but it was so believable that it's no far off of what could actually happen in today's world. But even though we're not going to see a bunch of zombies eating each other and all that other shit, but at least they made it more grounded and more real and not too stereotypical over-the-top action movie. It's not. This is more of a drama, a thriller, and a suspense horror movie. And I don't know how well it did at the box office, and I thought it was very well received by critics, and I will say that this definitely holds up. I mean, despite with the whole camera that they were using to shoot, that the quality was not something that I would choose to do, but at the time, I get it. I understand why he chose that style. And also, this is going to be a major spoiler in the third act, especially the ending. If you're not aware of what happened, if you have not seen the movie and you don't want to know anything what happens in the third act, especially the ending, best assured to just get off of this right now and come back later after you're done watching the movie, because I don't want to ruin any the surprises, even though that this movie came out 23 years ago. So you have been warned. So in the third act, we see that Naomie Harris and the girl have been held captive, and they're about to get sexually assaulted. And because the military group wants to procreate, because they are the only two females left in the world as far as they know, because they found a sanctuary, and you don't know if you can actually trust them until you find out what their true intentions are. And Cillian Murphy's character gets left for dead, and he has to go and infiltrate and take their asses down. The way that he did it, it was too much like a Batman style, if you really think about it, because I could see why that the studio wanted to get him to audition for the role for Batman in Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, because if you didn't know this, he did audition for Batman, and it almost felt like he was Batman for that moment. He was very stealthy, and he became a badass in that movie. I thought it was awesome. It was so good. I was a little bit worried that they were going to kill him off. Now, going to the ending. In the ending, he gets shot and very wounded, and he's about to lose his life. And they showed a flash forward in the present day time where he wakes up from the coma. And guess what? They shot it on 35 millimeter. And here's why. From what I've heard, that the reason why they shot it on film and the reason why the ending looks so much different, because originally the protagonist of Cillian Murphy's character was supposed to die, and the studio said that they did not like it. They had a test screening saying that no, we don't want our protagonist to die. We want him to live, and we wanted to have a little bit of hope. So we get into the ending where he wakes up and he's patched up, and this was like sometime months later. It's not very clear of how long has it been, but we know that they shot it on 35 millimeter and it looks great, and they're trying to spread out an SOS to be rescued by the military. And the ending really was more hopeful, where it doesn't have to end on a dark note. I thought it was going to end on a dark note. I thought that Cillian Murphy's character was going to die in this movie. I thought that he was going to bite the dust and it was going to end on a darker note and very bummer note. But no, it left the door open. It definitely concluded. And it didn't really leave on a big cliffhanger. And we already know that he's going to live, because he definitely does make an appearance in 28 years later, which, from what I've heard, that Danny Boyle said that don't expect much of him in the movie. His role is very small, so he's not going to have as much screen time. He's not going to be very present in the film. We know he's going to be in it. And I will say that overall, this definitely felt like a hopeful movie, that even though that we're in a post-apocalyptic world and and it feels hopeless, but there is still slight of hope, and you got to give some people a chance. And people can have a chance to survive. Anyway, this movie is absolutely a masterpiece. I loved it from beginning to end. I love how the film flew by so quickly and didn't feel too slow and too boring. The chemistry between Cillian Murphy and Naomie Harris was so good. I mean, they were not big household names. I mean, Brendan Gleeson was more of a veteran actor, and he was well known for certain roles, but he was absolutely incredible. I love the banter with the whole gang. Anyway, what did you think of 28 Days Later? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you love it or did you not love it? I personally really loved it. I was very surprised at that. I love this movie. It's really that damn good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I can't believe I haven't watched this a long time ago, because I thought this film is so damn good. It gets me more excited to watch 28 years later. I definitely will watch 28 weeks later. And from what I've heard, it's directed by somebody else. It's not directed by Danny Boyle. He's labeled as an executive producer, and he only directed the first 10 minutes of the movie. Then they went back and got a different director to direct the rest of the film. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this review. If you like this review, make sure you give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know when my videos are up. And if you want to follow my social media platforms, the link tree will be down in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.